Hi, everyone. Today, I'm going to give you a little more insight into the career opportunities you have as a user enablement specialist. What the heck is this? Let's hop in and I'll tell you. Hi, everyone. Karuana with Microsoft again. I'm here to talk a little bit about what a user enablement specialist actually is. What is a day in the life of a user enablement specialist? Well, let me tell you something. It is a super fun job. It can be challenging, it can be difficult, but that's true of most of the jobs that we have out in the world. But this one is full of so much meaning. A user enablement specialist is responsible for making sure that people are actually using the technology that's available to them in the workplace. And you do this through a variety of means. You're often a community manager. You think of new training programs. You might oversee training vendors or give a few classes yourself. You're usually accountable for reporting back to IT and executive management about the health and wellness of people actually using the technology. You look at and analyze user enablement reports, as well as feedback that's coming into the system through a variety of means, so that you can understand how people are really using the technology and also how they feel about it. I often wish that user enablement specialists or adoption specialists, as they were formerly called, were actually called user satisfaction gurus. Because it takes a little bit of magic to pull all of this together. And it's not every person who can understand the technology deeply enough to explain it to others, as well as design programs that help people understand what's in it for them. That is the chief job of somebody who is doing this work. Having enough empathy for the workforce's situation to be able to help them solve their own problems. There are six defined skills that you need to be great at this gig. And I certainly had this gig in Microsoft IT. And that's when I first started developing these training materials to help people understand what this job is actually about. Because sometimes people just call us trainers, and something, trainers are wonderful, but this job has much more than that involved. So let's take a look at the skills. You can see that there are these six major buckets. And as you go through your user enablement or adoption specialist career, you continue to gather more and more capability in each of these areas. Organizational development is, how do you get an organization to do the stuff that you want them to do? How do you actually get to make people do new things? There's psychology involved in that. Understanding that on a human level. And it's really understanding that deeper moment of culture and motivation that is throughout your organization. Business acumen, absolutely key. The work that you do has to help land meaningful business results, meaningful to your business. So that might be efficiency gains, serving more customers. That might be growing top line revenue, getting products out the door more quickly. Whatever it is that you're doing should always connect to the appropriate business goals that your executives have. You do need that technical competence. And in some areas, you might even need a little bit of mastery. My ability to help people in Microsoft Teams, for instance, came from a deep understanding of the way that it worked with Microsoft 365 groups and SharePoint and OneDrive and all the other components of it, as well as my history with Skype for Business. But you don't have to have that long of a history. Maybe you know this one thing called Copilot. That's certainly a valid area. But the important part is that you understand the technology deeply enough to help resolve people's issues, quell their concerns, answer their questions, and generally help them along as they are understanding what's in it for them, because that is what they care about. And that goes directly to your oversight of marketing and communications programs. I always tell people an adoption campaign isn't just an email. How are you going to design a program of communications that's engaging and lively and keeps people interested beyond the first bright, shiny object honeymoon component of rolling out your technology? As you continue to grow in this career, you'll be doing more than one thing at a time. And you may be doing the similar program for different departments at different times. Even if that's only 100 people, that can get really complicated. And it is certainly complicated when you get into the thousands, tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of employees. So being able to keep your portfolio of programs and capabilities that you are delivering organized is so important. I often tell folks that having a background as a scrum master, which I am, or any other true organizational management capabilities to keep a lot of information organized well is super helpful. That's why I'm such a big fan of Planner and all project management tools, whether it's Azure DevOps or others, because you really need that to not only help keep all of your ducks in a row with what you're delivering, but help show it to others and help them see your value and also get their feedback on your priorities. And that goes directly to the last. Some call this the X factor, but it's that leadership capability. It's the ability to feel confident, but not oversell, to take feedback without being defensive, and to help quell the nerves that come with being in ambiguous times or when people are going through something new, like a change that they may or may not want or may not understand. That leadership capability often gets user enablement people promoted. And you can look forward to a lot of other things along your journey as you do get promoted along this path. I think that these six essential skills are good for lots of things, but they are absolutely critical to do this particular job well. I had the opportunity to grow these skills as I worked in Microsoft IT, driving adoption of different products at SharePoint Online, on Microsoft Teams when we rolled it out, and other things. But what I'll tell you is that it merges together my love of technology and people. But the people are the most important thing to a user enablement specialist. Whereas an early adopter or somebody who's very much into technology, they're motivated by the new tech itself. So I think it's important to really have a conversation with yourself, understand what is the thing that motivates you. You could look forward to being a director of the collaboration experience, a director of user experience, new workforce management things. You can come from any area. You can come from IT like I did, or you can come from business, or maybe you have specific industry experience, and that allows you to make entry into this. There's just so many paths into being a user enablement or adoption specialist, and they are all rewarding and all valuable because diversity is what makes this area fun. I've met a lot of people in this area where we have a background in theater, like I do myself, and it helps us with the marketing communications piece. You might have a background in development, for instance, and so you're very deep on the tech and you want to build your skills in organizational development, psychology, and leadership. Whatever you do, join our driving adoption community because there's some fantastic people out there who've been doing this for a really long time. You can ask them your questions and you can make sure that this is a path for you. I'm Karuana with Microsoft. I hope that's helpful in understanding what a user enablement specialist actually is. I'm always happy to be here with you out here on Coffee in the Cloud, and we'll keep talking about this area as it expands and evolves over this era of AI. I'll see you again soon.